All right, so I got that stream going. And that should start pushing out to YouTube here in a second. All right. So, and if I could get, if somebody, if one of you wouldn't mind just, checking out, just checking the feed on YouTube, you know what I mean? Just sanity check me. We're just trying to.
I'm already on your channel.
Okay.
I'll look at it.
Yeah, and the key is, is it coming through okay? And then the only other thing I'm trying to do, last thing is, so I'm using OBS, which is an open source, kind of a stream generator. And there's a trick here with a windowed projector for a preview. And this is what caused the trouble before. Dang it. Sorry, everybody. Going back to, I mean, I can do the boring version. I mean, I can even do something like this, actually, which is if I give you this, you'll actually see my whole OBS feed. Oh, and then what I can do, I just realized, then what I need to do is just go full screen. Which one is it? Which one is it? Anyway, that's the setup. You can kind of see it now, right, with the full OBS thing. Hang on a second. Now there's like one magic thing, and I don't know which one it is. And if I do it wrong, it's going to just screw everything up. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I got it. I think I got it. I remember now. Oh, yeah. We good? Yep. Okay. Boom. All right. So what that, I apologize. What that gives us is you got my smiling face, you got the external monitor with whatever I want to drop there, you've got the Bitmoji of the day, and you've got the meme of the day. The meme of the day is actually a gift given to me by one of my children who does amazing artwork with, I don't know. Anyway, this is just a cross-stitch QR code, so knock yourselves out. Okay, so welcome everybody. So let's see. I want to do one other quick thing, which is just because there's a little bit of madness. There's also another couple sections that are like, part of the lack of prep was there was a madness with a couple of sections, evening sections, that are winding up getting dumped in here. Is anybody here from one of the evening sections? Nobody? All right. All right. You guys can all still hear me, right? On the chat, on the general chat. Give me a voice shout out from somebody so I'm not alone in the cave. Duh, I can't hear you. You're right. I cannot hear you. Duh. All right. Crap. Okay, you know what I got to do? Okay, quick vote. This happens sometimes with Discord for me for whatever reason. I can kill Discord, bring it back up, and then I can hear again. It does mean I just need to kind of like relaunch the share. Should I just do that? Or should we just go without you guys being audio and just go on chat? Preferences? It was an either or. You can't say yeah. Yeah, no yelling, Jacob. Yeah, I'll do the restart. Okay, all right, hold tight. Okay, I'm back. Somebody say something?
Hello?
All right.
Hello.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Oh my gosh.
Hello
Okay.
there.
Hey there. So let's do the thing again. Only I should have doing. Yeah, it's still live streaming over there. Where is it? Come on, you dog. Okay, hang on a second. Gotta do one more thing. This might kill OBS. Man, I tell you what. Okay, let's do it one more time. Window projector preview. Boom. Back to Discord. Share the screen. I tell you what, my friends, it's like just a slappage, man. This is just, it's nothing but madness. What's normally happening, if any of you guys have used OBS and or Discord, I can do a preview window. What you were seeing was basically a windowed preview that I can make full screen. Then on Discord, you go to share, and you can share just that app. But the app that you share is basically just that screen. And somehow when Discord did its funky glitch, it did the funky glitch. Okay, hold tight. I'm going to do a quick thing real quick. OBS. No, what I went through this, in spring, right after spring break, right? When we all jumped to online stuff, when the quarantine world came upon us with a vengeance. And I was really worried about sort of scalability, not to mention a few other factors, right? And the other big advantage, by the way, so again, I'm apologizing right now for the dumb, and we shall overcome. Yeah, I'm just having a hard time getting that screen. It's just maddening. I'm gonna just try that. It's not going to be the full goodness. It basically gives you my OBS screen. I wonder if I can now, if while I'm looking at it, if I go windowed projector, if that does the thing. Nah. Anyway, let's just roll with this for now, okay? Again, only so much piddling around makes sense. I apologize. You can actually see kind of how OBS works. You can see the little console of what I'm seeing. It's just that I don't know what I got to do. Reboot my frickin' machine or something. I don't know. Okay, yeah. So the other big advantage to doing this thing on Discord, frankly, is that I'm on Discord, like some of you, all stinking time. So, anytime you can catch, and this is a rule, okay? Anytime I'm on Discord and you can catch me, you just grab me. If it's 1 a.m. and you've got a weird problem with the LC3 assembler or something, you just grab me. Dr. K, are you up? Yeah, if I'm on, I'm available. And if I can't, I'll let you know. You know what I mean? We all got lives and stuff. I probably have less lives than most. But, if you can catch me on Discord, then it's all good. Okay? Everybody got that? So let me see. Double checking back to any of the comments. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, all right. Yeah, and by the way, and Andrew, working better than last semester's program. I don't know what you guys, if you're talking about this whole broadcast thing, we'll work the kinks out. But yeah, I like it better than anything else I've tried, and I've been doing distance learning stuff since, believe it or not, like 1999. Like really, isn't that crazy? But I actually did like satellite-based remote learning with students in remote classrooms and stuff in 1999. Really weird, but true. Back before we had the kind of bandwidth on the internet, you had to literally have your own infrastructure to pull that off back then. So, back in the old days. Okay, so everybody, welcome. What we're going to do here is try to explain a little bit about how the class is running. Now, related question, how many of you are from like section 4 or one of the others? How many people are in here right now? I don't know. Between basically there's 4 sections that are converging into this same thing, okay? So that's a little crazy. And 2 of those, again, the section, what was it, XO4, XO5, you guys just sort of dropped in just today. So I really apologize for the madness on that. But what's going to happen? Here's bottom line. Let me do like real stuff, and then I'll try to walk you through a little bit about how we're going to do this thing. But I'm going to just blow that up. And that's obviously a little canvas action there that hopefully you can read. So, so bottom line is, it doesn't matter what section you're from. The way we're going to do this thing is at 1 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday. That's like live time, okay? So for that, and we got no rhythm right now, okay? We got no, like Queen said, I got no feel, I got no rhythm. I just keep losing my beat. So we're just trying to find get started, okay? In the future, we'll hit, we'll talk for a few minutes, we'll dive in. But for now, what we got going is at 1 o'clock Tuesday, Thursday is live time. We're going to record it. That's streaming to YouTube. Then there's another section. Section 4 is at like 2:30 to 3:45. If you can make it during live time and you prefer that live feel, drop in. It doesn't matter. Any section, if it works well for you to be here during live time, drop in during live time. It's all the same. It's all the same thing. All 4 sections basically are right here. But then what I do is, if you can't do that, like if you got time at 2:30 and you got a conflict at this hour, no big deal. At 2:30, I'm just going to stay in this chat. I'm just going to stay on the audio chat all the way through the 2:30 to 3:45 block. So it's kind of like office hours, if you will. Okay. But what you can do then is just jump on YouTube and start watching it. As soon as you get to a point where, like, maybe somebody asked a question but it's not clear, you can pause your own YouTube. I'm just over here in the testing lobby, as we call it, and just jump on and ask me any questions. So it's really the same experience. Does that make sense? Where instead of having me just sort of repeat the same talking head stuff to a different group of people, we can do the talking head stuff once, record it. Then when you're watching, you pause, ask questions. I'm still there in real time while you've got questions, okay? If that makes sense. And then if you can't hit that time, I'll try to just see if there's some other times I can block out. But you can also, watch it anytime you want. And again, if you can catch any of the TAs, we'll get some times that we'll lock down for you, that you'll know that the TAs are on during these times. Same spot, just come over here, ask questions. We can jump on voice chat, video chat. And again, as far as I'm concerned, as far as concerns me, anytime you can catch me day or night and I'm on, which is most of the time, then I'm happy to just jump on ask, answer questions or whatever. Okay, so that's a little bit funky, I know, but I think it's a really good way to weave four sections into one experience. At least that's how it's going down in my head, and we got to see how it goes down in real life. So I don't know, and if it doesn't, we tweak. Okay, we adjust until it works, till it makes sense. That's kind of my philosophy. I'm not super rigid about that. I just want it to work, and by work I mean work for you guys. Do you guys have any questions, comments? That's kind of foundational to how we're going to roll. Okay, live class every Tuesday, Thursday at 1 if you can make it. Otherwise, you're watching it on YouTube and hitting me with questions or the TAs. Any questions? Either you can chat it, you can say it, unmute yourself and say it, or you can just drop it in the chat, whatever. Talk to me, friends.
I have a question.
Yeah, man.
I'm in one of the sections that are getting canceled, so
yeah.
Should I just join either one of your sections, 3 or 4? Does that matter?
It doesn't really matter. I've got both of those as what they call cross-listed. So my view in fact, if you look over on what it says right there is actually, section 2 and 3, and they're just, the X list is cross-list. So I just see them all in one. I can see where you kind of came from, but it doesn't matter in practice. The one thing, wait, what was your name, Niles? The one thing to kind of keep in mind is that they're opening up a bunch of extra seats in section 2. No, section 3. What is that doing, 2 and 3? I might have the sections wrong on my little note. I have a little note up here on my cork board, and I think I wrote the wrong section down on that. It should be 2 and 3. Anyway, whatever the 1 o'clock section is the one they're just going to open up a bunch of seats. So if there's room right now, go ahead and add. And if not, just wait, check it throughout the day. And presumably by the end of the day, that one's going to have Mondo seats available, and you can just, pivot into that. Okay? But other than that, it doesn't matter. The experience is all kind of still the same. Anybody else? Any other questions about that, kind of logistically? I'm waiting. Anything? Come on, Bueller. I know there's questions. That's the thing. That's why I'm, I had teenagers. I know what the silence is.
Anxiety or something?
What's that?
Anxiety or something?
What, me anxiety? No, I just, I don't want to move on. If there's people going, I don't want to move on if we haven't kind of dealt with the questions, right? That's all I'm going for here. Nah, what do you got? Anybody?
I have a question about the readings, but it's not really related to what you're talking right now, so.
Yeah, I mean, if no one has got, if there's no other logistical questions about how we're kind of doing this thing. And I'm also just kind of curious if it feels to you like that works. You need to understand, before I get to Jacob's question, you need to understand that my sort of core philosophy when it comes to teaching and, whatever, I've taught a lot over a long time period in a lot of different settings. I'm just not married to a particular, incarnation of how we do what it is. I'm just interested in making it work, and I've literally come into classes and then 2 weeks in just be like, this sucks, man. I know I'm in charge, but this sucks. Saw it going down in my head differently. And when that happens, we'll just stop and reconstruct it to make it make sense. Because if it's not making sense, it needs to make sense to me and to you. You know what I mean? If it makes sense to me but not to you, I'm probably doing it wrong. Because it shouldn't be that mysterious. So that's why that feedback is really, really important to me. Okay. That if it's not working for some reason, I really need to know it, so we can tune it and tweak it, okay? There's nothing super sacred about anything I'm doing here other than that I've done chunks of it, and it's worked. This is a little unusual with 2 sections, doing, recording during one and then having the others watch and, watch the video, but catch me live during, for comments and questions and stuff. So, okay, Jacob, let's, if there aren't any other questions about the overall structure, tell me a question about the readings.
So, like, if we have chapter 1 for this week, do you just want us to read chapter 1 before we come to class, or look at the slides, or how do you want us to do it?
Yeah. So my preferred approach is a little bit flex. First of all, let me talk about the book, okay? Which I've got some slides and stuff I can throw up. Which not a bad approach if we do that. But a couple of these things I can just kind of hit. So the book is old. There's actually a 3rd edition, and I've looked at it, but I haven't been deeply into it. You're okay with either the 2nd or the 3rd edition of the book. The other thing about the book is you can also get by without it. I think there's an advantage to having it, but the book is not free. Whoever that is. So if you just go on Canvas, it's right over here, actually. Here, I'll scroll up on the syllabus. Where is it? Right there, okay? Everybody see that? That is the required text. Again, you can all see that, right? On the yeah. So that's the book. And here's the thing. It's an old, that book is old. That was like, 16 years ago. But you have to understand something. We're starting off, the first topic we really hit on is like transistors. I mean, the first technical topic, when that was, right? That's a way back. The von Neumann architecture was the 40s. Transistors were the 50s and the 60s. And assembly language shows up, like in the 60s and the 70s. You know what I'm trying to say? These topics don't, when you're down this low, it doesn't age that quickly. You know what I mean? It has a pretty good shelf life. So, and the other thing too is that like the LC3 assembler and sort of mocked up computer, it's really an emulator that we use. It's not even a real computer. So it's not like, and we'll talk a little bit about like, what is that a problem? Would it be better if I were using whatever, Raspberry Pi or some other processor or whatever. And it's actually kind of pros and cons. It's not a clear win one way or the other, which we'll talk about, okay? But so the book being old, it really doesn't really matter much. There are a lot of times where, thanks, Stephanie. There's a lot of times where the book, where I think the explanations are really clean, and then I think there are a handful of spots where I think that, sorry, I just saw Mike's comment. Anyway, and other times where I think it's a little bit problematic. You know what I mean? That it might even just mess you up a little bit. But you gotta kind of follow your heart on that. Some of you, really like having the book, and you know what I mean, and that's great. And some of you are like, nope, if you tell me I can get by with just the slides, then I'll save the money. And I'm going to tell you, you can get by with just the slides. I think there's a bit of an advantage to having the book still. And the slides follow the book, but you're going to get more, there's a little more meat. There's little more meat in the book, obviously. Maybe that's not obvious, but it's true. So I was going to say to Mike's comment, if binary and the basics of digital logic, have changed in the past 16 years, we got bigger problems. Or we found some really great solutions, right? Because one of my questions is, what comes after the von Neumann architecture? This is not going to last forever. This is not going to be the thing. Maybe by the time I die, but maybe not by the time you guys die. I don't know, right? I mean, I just think that something's got to shake. Computationally. It's bizarre to me that we're running around on approaching 100 years with, you know what I mean? With this solution based on ones and zeros. It's a bizarre thing. It's just kind of freakish to me. when you think of how fast everything moves. You know what I mean? It's yeah, quantum computing is the pat answer, which I don't know. I'm really dumb about quantum computing, right? I'm not a quantum computing. I know people who are quantum computing people, and I'm not one of them. To me, it's just like freaking magic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just stop. Like, people start to talk about quantum computing, and I'm just like, yeah, just seriously, just shut up. You know, I don't. It's all magic, and you're just making crap up. And I don't even know why you would do that to us. You know. That's where I'm at on quantum computing. That's my full literacy, man. It's full confession. Anyway, so maybe we'll break it down. It might be fun. It might be fun at some point. I can get a little less ignorant about it. You know, that's just the way it goes. Okay. Other kind of just questions that are like, maybe it's in order of what I was going to hit. It doesn't matter. If it's kind of most nagging, we can hit some of those right now, and then I can jump over and I'm pointing there because I've got a monitor with the what you're seeing on my on the projection. This monitor right here with my cool family shot over there behind the window stuff. That's actually on a big monitor right there to my left. So that's what I'm pointing at. Anyway, yeah. Any other questions that are big and nagging? Yeah. Okay. So Tyler, as far as where to get the textbook, my understanding, and then I'll get to Mike's question. My understanding about the book, I know that the bookstore, paradoxically, doesn't stock books, but they have some. There's some way they know about whatever, how to get books, but you can also just any way you can get your hands on it. Pretty sure you can get it on Amazon. There you go. Yeah, in fact, I think I've double checked it, and you can you can get it used, you can rent them, just really any place you can get your hands on it. But the thing that's, the good news is you're not like dead in the water. And back to whoever asked the question earlier, how do I prefer you approach it? It's really kind of up to you. I think that there are some classes where you really, really have to have hit the material before you show up. This is probably not as much one of those. It's not going to hurt you. I mean, if you've reviewed it yourself before you show up, you're gonna, it's not hitting you as brand new. So that's clearly going to be, decent for that. But but if you prefer to approach it that way, I think it's going to be to your benefit. If you really rather not, because maybe you don't. You know what I'm trying to say? If you're reading ahead of time, you're blazing new trails. You're like, trying to drive through the fresh snow. Sometimes it's class, then you could drop into the book, and you've got a lot more context for what the book is saying. So it's kind of up to you. You're not dead in the water either way, in my view, with how you want to approach that. Really personal. And again, there are some classes, like even one I'm teaching this semester, where I'm like, you actually have to have read the stuff before class, or you can't even participate, and it's very high participation. So, all right, that makes sense. And then let me see, Mike had, so books, Tyler, there's some people dropping, I guess, some, things. So, Mike, do we need to use an official LC3 simulator, one of the online resources? Again, it doesn't really matter. The one that Zach just posted is one that I've used consistently, and I find it really good. It's really quite good. We've had some discussions about trying to maybe roll our own, make it a little better. There's a handful of things that I think are limitations that don't need to be limitations, that are kind of an artifact or an effect of just how you built the little emulator. Later on, we can talk about emulators and simulators as well, but because there's some little bit of discussion about whether that's a simulator or an emulator. And but like I said, so that link, and really literally you just Google LC3 simulator and first hit basically, and it's always that GitHub LC3 web. It's just a web interface, and that's all I've ever used. Some of you prefer to have it be, you know, downloaded an app on your desktop or laptop or whatever. Really, again, up to you. As long as it works. When we're grading and stuff, when we get to programming, I always use that web one that Zach posted the link for. How do we? Okay, so yeah, so there's a comment about pinning that emulator in the chat. I'm not exactly sure. How do we do that? There we go. Pin the message. Yeah. So I just pinned it. So you should be able to, if this is your preferred way of getting back to it. Otherwise, I always just Google it. I always just type LC3 simulator. Boom, it's right there. It's that GitHub, you know. Okay. Any other questions before I kind of hit a few of the things from Canvas? Also, I got a little bit of noise and echo coming back from somebody not muted. I think I'm going to accuse. I'm just looking to see who lights up when I talk. Yeah, everybody's now stealth mode. Anyway, just mute yourself when you're not talking. It kind of helps. I think it's Ryan. I'm gonna go Ryan. Yeah, it's Ryan. Let me see. I can also like manually mute Ryan, I think.
Yeah, you have a server mute option.
Yeah, I don't know. It just always feels so harsh, I'm muting him. Okay, yeah. There we go, man. Mutiny right there. Sorry, Ryan. But you were asleep or getting a snack or something, so I had no choice. Okay, any other kind of hot questions? Because we can kind of roll. It's not, this class organizationally is really, really simple. I mean, it's really quite simple, and I'm going to try to just lay that out. So, okay. Here's the thing. So is that text big enough where everybody can read it on the stream? I can go bigger.
I think it's
It
fine.
looks pretty good.
Okay, let me make it just a little bigger, just to make it just. Sometimes if you're getting it at all choppy, you know what I mean, coming through the stream.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the stream quality.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So this is just kind of like a little bit of background. Give this a read, and about the notion of just kind of binary logic. Some of the stuff that we're going to talk about as we get in, I'll break it down more. We'll kind of get a little deeper on Thursday. But this is still the foundation of everything. And even when you're doing things like whatever, you want to do graphics, and they're going to say, oh, what's the color you're going to use for something? And it's going to be a hex number. It's going to be a number in hexadecimal, right? Now in 1400, you touched it. You touched hex, right, in 1400. A little bit of number system, a little bit of whatever. But it was a little easier for you to kind of just gloss it, like, because you're all Python, right? It's all whatever. Like almost all of you would have probably taken 1400 with Python, right? And you know what I mean? You can kind of like hand wave at hex in 1400. Here we're going to like really drill down to the number systems. And you're going to really get a much deeper understanding of that. And a lot of that stuff is just never going away. There's a lot of the things that are going on here. If somebody says, oh, shoot, my phone, is being really slow, or I don't even care what it is. There's so much that's about kind of what's going on at a low level that if you understand it, I don't know, it just lends a lot of insight, into what's going on. It's a little bit like, does a medical doctor really need, all that organic chemistry, or you know what I mean? I got a son in med school right now, and I would probably say strictly speaking, probably no, to just like diagnose you, tell you it's a virus, and then go home or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? But to, strictly speaking, to just like give you a prescription, for whatever. It doesn't require all of that. But if you're doing all that in med school and as pre-med, there's like a deepening. Does that make sense? That it's you still look into the say the human body, into medicine and chemistry. It does change the way that you look into the situation. And it's the same reason that for some of you that have been around computers, some of you are really new to computers, right? But for some of you that have been around computers for a long time, and you ever noodle about why it is that you seem to be able to just do a Google search that works, and your roommate that's a humanities major doesn't? Not trying to pick on the humanities. I'm just saying there's something about this computer thing we do and some engineering thinking that like literally makes it so that you can find things on Google that other people can't find on Google, but it's just Google. Why is that? Does that make sense? So we dive deep, not because we're all going to spend our careers monkeying around in assembly language. We dive deep because it actually enriches kind of everything. You see it all differently. And then later on in the curriculum, if you're, in the CS curriculum, you're going to roll through, I don't know the number. I've only been on faculty for 2 years here. But I don't know the number of the one, but it's kind of like the advanced architecture. I don't know the number. Anyways, but you can tell it's bugging me that I don't know the number. And then there's a compiler class. Well, guess what? When you get into that advanced architecture and the compilers class, all this stuff is kind of coming back. So it's not like I'm going to just get through this class, I hate it, I gag it down, I get through it, and then I never have to think about that for the rest of my career. No, it's not true. A lot of it you won't have to worry about. Transistors you won't have to worry about, probably. But the ideas are going to stick. And there's a number of ideas that I think are really, really critical that need to stick, that are going to make everything else kind of easier for you. Okay? Does that kind of make sense? And by the way, when I ask those rhetorical questions, any little thumbs up or anything to give me a little... When we're in live class, I got the head nods or, who's asleep, who's awake. I don't have as much of that. So anything you can give me to throw me a bone, with a little anything. Give me a thumbs up or a verbal acknowledge or whatever you're comfortable with. It helps me to know that it's like everyone's okay and I'm good to move on. All right, thanks for the bone, David. It's more of a static bone. I was thinking more throw me the bone. So anyway, let's see. Let me see. Yeah, I was thinking something more like that, maybe, David. I'm thinking more throw me the bone. So okay, any other questions? The skull and crossbones. That's okay. All right. What else? Any other burning questions? Oh, 2 bones. Yeah, you win. You do win. Actually, Chris, that's 3 bones. That's literally, it's a bunch of bones, right? Because the skull is a bunch of bones. So you lose on the logic there. But it was a good try. Okay. Other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to just kind of dive back into some of this stuff. And how much time do we got? 2:15. We're good on time. We got all semester, man. Anything else? Thanks for the taco, Zach. I didn't have lunch, so thank you. That helps me quite a bit. Okay, so let me back up over here. What are we talking about? Give that a read. It's not really long, but it does give you a lot of insight about what's happening under the hood. Okay? I still said 3 and 4, and I don't think that's right. What? Hang on. Sorry, this is going to make me crazy if I don't look it up. What sections are you? What sections is everybody?
3.
4.
3 and 4? Maybe I do have it right. Hang on a second. Come on. This is me logging in to check something. I just want the official whateverness. Oh, I'm already logged in. Okay. No, no, whatever that thing is. Sorry, I'm at that. I think I'm at that. I don't know what it is. Senility or something. I don't know. Just losing my edge here. Hold tight. Okay, here we go. Coming down the pipe. 2810. Okay, yeah, I am 3 and 4. Okay, well, okay, my note is correct. But then, okay, then somebody explain to me. What is that? What is XO2, XO3?
Might be a typo. I don't know.
No, right? Right? That was what was throwing me off. Was 0203. But, I mean, are the Section 4 people in there? Are the Section 4 people, do you have access to Canvas?
I have access.
I do have access as well.
Okay, wow. Okay, that's, okay, wow. So, anyway, I make a note to myself. No, that was what was throwing me. I'm like, I got a note right there that goes 3 and 4. I look over there and it's 2 and 3. You can see it. You know what I'm looking at. Okay. I got to figure that out because it may just be like they renamed it, you know what I mean, and did the dumb typo. All right. Okay. Nice. Yes. Okay. So, Chris, excellent work there. Props to you. Let me see. I have, just hold on. I got to do a quick thing. It'll be worth it. Just check the chat. Wait, hang on. It was just in response to what Chris was doing there. Because it just seemed, where it is, there we go. Yeah, just right there. It's related to what Chris just posted. Okay. Yeah, no, and so, David, YouTube does not see this chat on Discord. And, you know, they are missing out, right? And opinions on that, that's an open question, okay? Like, how do we feel about that? I've debated, you know, trying to actually, you know, try to feed this chat into the stream somewhere. And I may be able to actually, you know what I mean? Fit it into the OBS stream so that it's going by on the screen in real time. That would be nice, maybe. A little less, again, privacy. There's just, again, the privacy thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure we can figure out how to do it, David. All right, let's go, my friends. Where are we at? So here's how this thing works. It's super chill, and it's very straightforward. This is all about how we're doing class, which we've already explained. So that's all that. Read that thing. TAs, you get to know these guys. Talmadge, Zach, Vlad. Zach is live with us right now on the chat. Talmadge and Vlad, those guys, you know, I don't know. What do we do? I think they must have both have class right now during this block, maybe. Anyway, we'll punish them somehow later in a suitable fashion. But the rest of it goes kind of like, and we're going to get into all what we're talking about and everything. But this is it right there. Okay, you ready? That's grading. There are 12 subject matter modules at, what does that turn out to be? What is that? 84 divided by 12, whatever that is. Blanking on that. Is that 6% a pop? 6, no, 7, that's 7% per module. That's it. And you can also move at your own pace. Now, okay, can I fire a warning shot across the bow here about a couple of things relative to how this thing works? There are some of you, I promise you this because I've been doing this for 2 years now here at UVU, who are going to be like, Dr. K says we can do everything at our own pace. And then whatever, then you just go on a drunk and we never see you again. Okay, that's not actually how it works. Okay, it does not how it works. All right, doing it at your own pace means you could do it at your own pace. Okay, now you can also not do it at your own pace. And I understand that for a lot of you, for some of you, this is like second semester, in college, and some third. So, I'm just saying that, yeah, I've seen that tried, by the way, Chris. The everything in the last 4 days, I have seen it attempted. It does not end well, all right? Now, here's an interesting thing. What I did last semester in spring, I was a genius, like this guy. I was a genius, and I thought, okay, no, I know the problem. Everybody just, we start off, and everyone the curve just goes just like this, and then there's this, significant portion that just doesn't finish the class, it fails or whatever. That's just part of life. That's just a thing. But I didn't want to set up a system that was kind of unduly problematic, right? I wanted to make it as easy as I could make it. I mean, easy in the sense of not arbitrarily, punishing, right? So what I did last semester was I literally made a rule that you had to take the first 3 module exams in the first 5 weeks or something, 5 or 6 weeks. It was it was popping, right? Class starts, we start getting into the material, you start going module exams, and you had to take the 3 exams. What was amazing is there were literally only 3 students who did not take the first 3 exams on time. Oh, and the penalty was I would drop you from the class. That was the penalty. I was hard-nosed, right? I was being a real hard butt. And because I'm just no, I'm just going to, let's just make it explicit what you're doing implicitly, right? You're not even in this class. So I did that. And then when the whole semester ended, we got together with a couple of the TAs from spring and went back and looked at the grades. And here's the interesting thing. So typically, I'll try to see if I can do I'll try to represent the curve with my hand here. Starting, it kind of would go, typically it would go right out of the chute. There'd be this drop off with people that never did anything and never, they didn't finish, but they never did even the first module. Or there'd be first module, second module, third module, and then this is not to scale. But there would be 30% of the class that would just, just vanish. And then, you get the stable rest of them, kind of going. So I was feeling so proud of myself because we're it was first, module, second module, third module, and all but 3 students are right with us. And then guess what happened? Anybody want to guess? Anybody want to throw it out on voice chat? Then everybody did exactly the same thing, only after 3 instead of after 0. The curve looked exactly the same. So instead of going like this immediately, it was hold tight because Dr. K is threatening. And then as soon as you're whew, got the 3. I was hoping that somehow if I just made everybody do the first 3, right? You got your rhythm. No. We're going to hit. And then we're just going to go right back. Numbers were identical. The final numbers were identical. What do? So I don't have a better solution yet. A new fear factor to throw down. I don't know. But so there's none of that. Some of you are going to vanish. We'll never hear from you again. Don't. I mean, you can, but really, really. But this class is so doable because, here's the deal. We're going to get into the lecture. I'll show you real quick. I mean, that's literally the whole thing. That's the whole class right there. 12 module exams, 7% each. And then this, by the way, is the schedule. Come on. Now this guy, do I need more real estate to show that? Come on. There ought to be like a full page view on this thing with Canvas. Well, anyway, you can kind of get the idea. Okay. Spring typo. Okay, hang on a second. One of my kind of core life. Remember I told you I'm okay. Like, there's no pride operating here, right? I'm just totally good. There we go. Save. Okay. See, we can change this in real time. It's all good. Fall 2020 class schedule. Okay. Here's what we do. We go module 1, chapter 1. It takes about the first week. Okay. Now, you know what you should be doing like this weekend when we're done with module 1? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody?
We're just intimidated, that's all.
Wait, by what?
Take the exam. Do all the stuff.
Do all the things. Yeah, no, the thing is, if you...
It looks like so much more than it is. I can guarantee your homework is not as scary as your brain makes it out to be.
That's true. Or as I look. That can be, let's face there's some serious intimidation factor just by me. Yeah, so point I'm getting at is as soon as chapter 1, as soon as we've hit it, right, and we button it, boom, boom. While we're doing it, do the homework. You know what I mean? Track along. So as while we're doing it, you're doing the homework. Module finishes, you submit the homework. Oh, and the way the thing works is you submit the homework. That gives you permission to take the module exams. Okay? That's it. And we have everything set up in Canvas where as soon as you actually submit the homework, and we have to go in and go, yeah, that's real homework. It's not like Mary Had a Little Lamb. It actually has to be real homework. Then we just go, yep, complete. As soon as we go complete, modules available for you to take the exam online, okay, via Canvas. Okay? Big rules. Oh, here's the other thing. This is the other thing that's so crazy that this would cause people to go again. They're going to go on a drunk and vanish. You can retake the module exams. This is an attempt to mitigate some of the intimidation factor, okay? Okay? You can retake the module exams. So for crying out loud, this Saturday, Sunday, whatever, right, on your weekend, get the homework done this week for module 1. It's already there while we're talking about stuff. And are you with me? My friends. And then just take the module exam. It doesn't even matter if you crash and burn. Take it. The only limitation to retaking a module exam is you can only take the module exam once in a given calendar week. So, Sunday night at midnight through, Sunday night at midnight. You can take it once in that block. And then the next week, so Monday you can go again. You can take it Saturday and then take it Monday. Okay? So if you're in there and you're like, I feel so terrified, take it, get a 1, understand what's there. I mean, the reality is it's not like by seeing it now you know all the answers. You still got to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? If you roll in there and you really don't know your crap, it's not going to be like, I saw the exam and now I know everything and it's going to be easy. Okay? But I'm just saying you don't have to be intimidated by that whole process. Once you've done the homework, and also the homework's not graded. Okay? Why is the homework not graded? Because I don't want anybody, first time I taught this class, I saw this like massive, stupid, massive cheating on the homework. And I know that was just that group, and you guys would never do that. But I'm saying that there was because when X amount of points are just for doing the homework, there's a certain temptation to I'm not really cheating. I'm just looking on my cheat site that I subscribe to try to understand it better. But I wind up typing what they said. Well, guess what? That's not going to help you here at all.
David, we need to change our plan.
What's that?
Nothing. I'm just messing with you.
I just didn't hear it. I'm sorry. It came in and it was a little.
I was saying, David, we need to change up our plan.
Oh yeah, David. Yeah, that's right. You got to come up with a new approach.
Oh man.
And let me see. Yeah, I'll talk about Morganator. I'll talk about the two things. By the way, yeah, in terms of reading, it's really just the chapters. You know, chapter 1 in the book, or the slides I'm going to jump onto that are the kind of the module 1 slides. Okay. Oh, and if anybody wants to really get ahead, all of these slides from spring semester are actually on my YouTube channel. So you can even jump ahead and go, you know, you can even go look there if you're super jiggy and you want to get all aggressive. Some of those I'm going to move them over the run. I have 2 YouTube channels, and I'm kind of like blending them back together. The two readings are just some things I'm going to touch on briefly, and everything else is really just the book. There's no other, you know, utility readings beyond that. Okay. Wait, homework is unpublished? No. Okay, I'll double check it. Okay, I will double check it. I'm going to double check it right now. No, that's published. There's the homework right there. It's all published. Boom. There's the module exam scores, and there's the actual exams. They're all just ready to rock and roll. They're ready for you, my friends. Okay. But the key is, this is a part where you have to be a little bit self-managing. How are we on time? I've got 5 minutes. You got to be a little bit self-managing, a lot of bit self-managing. You got to pace yourself, manage it, you know, keep it steady, block it out, do it, because no one's, you know, no one's cleaning your room. Unless you still live at home and you have parents with, you know, control issues. But probably nobody's cleaning your room. You know what I mean? And no one's going to make you do this. And the fallout is, this is a class that's historically a little difficult. And I don't think there's any more doable way than the way I've set it up. Literally, if you're not as good at this thing, you just take it, go back, revisit the homework, study, get yourself better, take the exam again. I've had people take the exam 5 times. You take the exam 5 times, you have my respect, because you're not quitting. You're just going back, going back, going back. I've had some students be like, they're doing great, but they just have like they're gamers. So there's this gamification, and they have to retake the exam till they get 100. So like this is a little obsessive. I recommend it. It's a professional advantage in computer science to be a little bit obsessive about stuff like that. Generally, it's going to make you a better coder. Okay, so Tyler, thanks for showing that screenshot as part of an. Oh, you know what I think I've got to do? Okay, all right. So Talmadge and I were working on this where we were tying them directly into modules. See right there? The modules. Can you guys see that? Right? There's a thing called modules. I'm sure that's what it is. Okay? I will jump on that like tonight. I've got class popping it'll be tomorrow. But I will get that fixed tomorrow. But thank you for the heads up on that. Because we were shifting everything to the module, to the built-in module feature of Canvas, and previous to that we had to do everything. But so yeah, as Cody said, you can go back to, where am I? Like just to files, and there's still homework right there. You know, and those are just the PDFs. Yeah, so thank you for that heads up, Cody. Can everybody see that? You know, again, just go to files and under whatever it's under, files homework. And you can see the PDFs and start pulling them down. Okay? Thanks for that heads up. But again, there's no motivation or incentive to short circuit. Okay, one last thing, because we're almost out of time. The way that you learn this stuff, some of you speak a language that's not your native language, right? I know you do. I know some of you do. Some cross section. No, Spencer, you do whatever you want. You can handwrite it. You can edit the PDFs. You can put it in a Word doc. Just save it out as a PDF and drop it in for the homework. Doesn't matter how you do it. We don't care. Just you're doing it. That's all we care about. Okay. So, okay, yeah. So anybody want to just chime in? You've learned a language. You speak a language, fairly fluently, but it's not the one, that you learned as a baby, right?
Yes.
I'm in this category, right? I speak a few languages with varying degrees of goodness, okay? But, okay, when you're learning a language that you didn't grow up with, you know how you go through phases where it's like, there's a phase where you can kind of like recognize things and sort of figure it out, You can kind of figure it out by staring at it. That's where I'm at with like Portuguese. So I speak Italian pretty well, pretty fluently. French, I need some immersion and then it comes back. Spanish, badly, but passionately. Portuguese, fraudulently. I can understand, you know what I mean? Once you speak Italian, Spanish, and French, you can look at written Portuguese and understand a great deal. Same with Romanian, frankly. You can understand a weird amount of it. Okay, great. Now go form a Portuguese sentence. Oh yeah, I can't. Does that make sense? In other words, if you're looking at what somebody else has done, or you're looking online, or you've got some account to to some sort of cheat site, or you're going to Stack Overflow or whatever, and you're just trying to find out, you understand you're not acquiring the fluency. Okay? So I can look at Portuguese and understand a lot of what's going on. I do not speak a word. That's not true. I don't speak more than 2 sentences of Portuguese. Okay? And what the exams are going to require you to do is speak Portuguese, as it were. Okay? So understanding it by looking at it, you short circuit the learning process. You have to, you know what I mean? Looking at something and understanding it is not the same cognitive process as learning how to generate it yourself, right? You can look at a chessboard, for example. Thanks, Kirby. My Portuguese sucks so bad, man. It just sucks. I've even been to Brazil a couple times. So thanks, Cody. Claro que sí. That's all I got, man. My Spanish is really bad. But what I'm trying to get at, we're about out of time. I just want to say that when you go to look up, oh, here's how somebody did that problem, or you're searching online or going to wherever. My generation, we didn't have the internet. I mean, we didn't have the web. We didn't have any of that crap. We were really kind of stuck, pros and cons, right? You guys have this advantage, disadvantage that you can go to these sources, So it's a little bit like any chess players, any like half serious chess players. My oldest son, when he was 18, which has been 12, 13 years ago now, was the Utah State Amateur Chess Champion, which is no small thing. And I've had chess lessons from him because I suck. I feel like I suck at chess. Okay, point is, I've got this puzzle book, and there's like these puzzles. That's like, here's the board, and it goes white to move, mate in 1. Like there's literally one move that white can make that'll be a checkmate. And then it's next section, white to move, mate in 2, white to move, mate in 3. Now, if you simply showed me a game and then showed me that move, I would go, oh, wow, look at that, checkmate. Finding it is a very different skill. Does that make sense? I can look at it and recognize it if I see it, but that's not the same as generating it myself. It's a different fluency. So reading about games and being content to be like, oh, I know what that was, That's the voice. That's the voice of, I don't know what that is, what that voice was. That's my imitation of somebody with this problem. Oh, okay. But if you give me the book and just go, here's a board, white to move, mate in 1, I've got to go, okay, how many moves, what can white do? Where's the checkmate? There's a 1-move checkmate. Where is it? I've got to find it. Different skills, different parts of my brain being exercised, okay? So you have to struggle through the homework and we're available. Zach's available. We're online. You know what I mean? We're here on Discord. That's what I mean. So hit us up, and we will walk you through stuff. We're not trying to set up some arbitrarily difficult or punitive environment like you don't dare check in with us. We want to do everything we can to help you learn it. And you're going to know when you get to that exam if you really do understand what you need to understand. That's the bottom line. Okay, that's my speech. That's my speech about language, right? Also, I just want to say Duolingo. I'm a big Duolingo fan, and I need to recommit. I've had a bad summer of Duo. Any Duo fans? You can follow me on Duo if you're interested, whatever. But I've got a bunch of languages that I toy around with on Duolingo, but it's free. It's great. Any other Duo fans?
I've done it before.
That doesn't sound super committed.
No. Not anymore.
There we go. It's kind of gamified. They've lost some of the gamification. It's not as cool as it used to be. They've lost some of the gamification, I think. Anyway, really recommend it. Is that like a clickable link, or do I have to drop some HTTP in that thing? There we go. There we go. Yeah, I highly recommend it if you're interested. Anyway, but just understand, the homework is not graded, but it is your measuring stick. It's going to be the thing that guides you, and the exams follow. There's nothing, we're not trying to be tricky. We're really not trying to trick you. And the reality is, if I told you here's the homework and there's a program that you have to write in assembly language, and you fake it, and then I give you the very same homework, the very same program to write, you're dead. You can't do it. But if you did it once, you can do it again. Okay, so struggle through it. Okay, we're out of time. I'm going to fix my dumb problem with the Discord streaming. Hopefully you've been enjoying watching, my mic, the mics go. But it kind of works. Anyway, it's a fallback. So, anyway, if you guys, I'm kind of done with talking head part of this thing. Is there any other just like lingering questions? And if you need to go, I know some of you got class at 2:30, and I'm going to stay in this chat for the 2:30 folks that are coming on. But I'm going to stop the YouTube live stream, but that'll just archive that recording for everybody, complete with all the dumb stuff at the front where I was trying to get the thing working. But any other questions or anything? Questions, comments, anything?
I have a question. How
Yeah.
many problems are there each exam?
How many whats?
Problems.
I missed it. What's the word?
Questions. How many questions are there each exam?
Oh, how many questions like in a module?
Mm-hmm.
In a module exam, it totally depends. Like when we're doing stuff, it'll actually mimic the homework quite a bit. Like when we start getting into like some binary arithmetic problems, there might be a lot of those little binary arithmetic problems, right? When we get into programming, it might just be like four little programs. So it really depends. That's the best I got for now.
Uh-huh.
All right, and if everybody's done, you can just kind of bail. I will, Ryan. I apologize I'm going to unmute you just in case you've been trying to say stuff. Anyway, last thought here. I just want you to know that we're really here available to help you all be successful, and that's really all we're about on this whole thing. So take advantage of it. You're never going to have a better chance anywhere in the world to succeed at assembly language than this semester right now with this thing. And we're all here to kind of help you get through it together. And yeah, David, really, if you band together, we can do this thing and we'll get you through it. And it'll be great. And you will be so grateful. Alrighty, that's all I got. Like I said, I'm sticking around. Yeah, man. I also like the setup maybe more. I don't know exactly how to pronounce your name, so I'm gonna let you hit me with that, okay? Okay, there's a J, man. I'm going Kojby, man. I'm going, what is Kojby?
That's how it's pronounced.
Colby. All right.
Both ways.
Oh, so it's spelled that way, but pronounced Colby.
No, it is Colby, but the J has just been the username forever.
Oh,
Everybody calls me Cosby.
All right, hey man, it works. It works. But I'm just like, Kajmi, man, it works for me. But
It works for
cool.
me too, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, yeah, awesome, Colby. Yeah, no, I like it as well. I think it works out. I think it sets up really, really well. And especially where we can jump on even like video chat stuff where we can do kind of face-to-face office hours. Super chill. And believe it or not, they pay me to talk to you guys. It's crazy. It's like part of my job. It's very, very weird. So anyway, I know you don't always get that, but that's all right. We're getting that here. So, okay, everybody, rock and roll, and I will fix the modules, and I will fix the typo on the cross list. So I'm gonna hang tight. I'm just gonna go kill the other thing, but we're just kind of hanging out here. And that's kind of for the people coming in at 2:30 as well. Okay. Like the sound of everybody leaving. That's awesome. Okay.